He didn't have to do that. He could have done anything else. She'd still be with us.
This morning we're hearing from the family of the two people stabbed in their Longview home, attacked, police say, by their handyman.
And in Vancouver, a teenager drowned a couple of days ago. We spoke to a witness who tried to help after seeing it all unfold.
And from our weather department, it's a tale of 2 weeks wrapped up into one. We started the week with a heat wave. We're wrapping it up with some rain. Rod Hill with how long this rain will stick around in just a minute as we kick off your 6 o'clock hour of sunrise right now.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us on your Friday. I'm China Green.
And I'm Drew Carney. Chris McGinnis standing by with a look at traffic. But first, Rob, we get to you.
Yeah.
We're talking about that rain.
Yeah, so we expected some light showers to come in overnight. Thought it would be mostly traceable stuff. I think that for the most part is what has happened. We do have more numbers of showers near the Columbia to north up into Washington and less down to the south. So the radar may not be picking up all of the little areas getting some light moisture. So be prepared for it. Rain jacket out the door, if you will. Here's the coast, which is pretty quiet looking right now from Schnickwitz Casino Resort in Lincoln City. You folks will see increasing rain pick up quickly this afternoon. Here's a wet, rainy morning up at Timberline Lodge, 49 degrees up that direction. Here are the clouds from the Wells Fargo building in downtown Portland. We're at 66. So it's light showers today, which is code for a mix of dry time and wet time, but not much total rainfall. 73 the high. Now, once we get into this evening, eventually we start to see the rain become steady, and then we have that heavier rain coming in overnight tonight. Here's Chris.
Taking an umbrella to our concert tonight. All right, let's go ahead and pick it up on the east side. Photojournalist Eric Patterson's manning the wheel of Drive 8. He's heading south on I-205, just east of the Interstate 84 interchange, and you can see traffic is zipping along just fine. A reminder, if you need your windshield wipers, you need your headlights. I know the sun is still about 10 minutes from coming up, so that's probably obvious, but just keep that in mind throughout the day. Everyone's got their headlights on the Highway 26 commute coming down the hill. So far, guys, no crashes or unexpected freeway delays. We are rolling along at a speed limit clip.
Thank you, Chris. Vancouver police say they recovered the body of a 16-year-old boy who drowned in the Columbia River on Wednesday.
It happened at Frenchman's Bar Regional Park, a popular swimming spot near Vancouver Lake. Sunrise reporter Thomas Schultz joins us live from the park this morning. So, Thomas, you talked about it earlier. Witnesses saw this boy struggling, but no one was able to save him.
Yeah, that's right, Drew and China. We spoke to a man, actually, who saw the whole thing unfold. He actually tried to step into the river, swim in, and help the boy who was struggling. But unfortunately, it was already too late.
He got, I think, tired. And so before he even made it to that point where he could rest and hold on to something, the current started pulling him down.
Alex Watson was along the river with his daughter when he saw that teen struggling. Watson says the boy yelled for help. He then jumped in, swimming against the current to try to reach him.
Immediately I felt the current. I was trying to get to him, and he disappeared, like when I was probably 30 to 40 feet away from him, just gone.
The river at Frenchman's Bar may look calm, but officials say it can be dangerous. Clark County fire officials say the first 10 to 15 feet of the shoreline along the water is pretty benign, but after that, there's a big drop off. Now, Vancouver police recovered that boy's body yesterday. We still don't know the name of the 16-year-old, although Clark County Medical Examiner's office says that more information about this will likely be released sometime next week. Drew, China.
All right, Thomas Schultz live for us this morning in Vancouver. Meanwhile, Portland police say they arrested a man who jumped into the Columbia to get away from them. Police say 27-year-old Tanner Miles ran a red light near the Cascade Station Transit Center, and when officers tried to pull him over, he sped away. Shortly after that, police say they got a call about a man who was heading north in the southbound lanes of I-205 near the airport. Turns out that wrong-way driver was Miles. Officers say he eventually got off the freeway and out of his car and led police on a foot chase through an airport parking lot and then a wooded area near the freeway. They caught him after he jumped into the river. Miles faces several charges, including reckless driving and eluding police.
The Coast Guard has suspended its search in the mysterious disappearance of a fisherman. The 65-year-old was last heard from last Friday. His boat was sending out an automatic navigation signal, so crews tracked it down the Oregon coast all the way to Eureka, California. But once they found the boat, there was no sign of the fisherman on board. Crews searched more than 2,100 square miles with no luck. They say there was also never a distress call.
We have new details this morning in the murder investigation of a Longview woman whose family told us the man accused of killing her was working at her home as a handyman. That man was found this week in California and arrested. Sunrise reporter Corey Johnson brings us more on this case from the KGW newsroom. Corey?
That's right, Drew. Alexander Lee Rogers was arrested Tuesday, a week after police responded to a home and found those two adults. 64-year-old Don Peters died at the scene, and 73-year-old Andrew Peters was airlifted to the hospital and is now recovering. The victims were in-laws, and Rogers knew them. Family and neighbors say Rogers had worked briefly for the family as a handyman. Police say Rogers was released from prison 10 months ago after serving more than 2 decades for violent crimes committed in August 2002. Now, in that case, Rogers attacked 2 people with a machete. On Monday, Los Angeles area authorities found Rogers' BMW after he was spotted in the area. Someone had recognized him from the news and reported his location. A relative of the victim says their family is now mourning a grave loss.
He didn't have to do that. He could have done anything else. She'd still be with us. Everybody loved her. She was like your best friend, your mom, your grandma, anything and everybody would call her all the time. She'd give the biggest hugs. And every family dinner is not going to be the same.
Now, Longview police said that detectives traveled to Los Angeles to investigate the car for additional evidence. Dawn's family is now working to cover funeral expenses and have started a GoFundMe page. You can find more details on that on our website, kgw.com. Drew?
Thank you, Corey.
At least one person appears to have died from the heat-related illness this week. Multnomah County health officials said that they're investigating the death of a 59-year-old man who was found in southeast Portland earlier this week. Right now, his death is suspected to be heat-related, though confirmation could take several weeks. Now, if that's the case, this would be the first reported heat-related death in the county this year.
Multnomah County's chief operating officer is launching an independent investigation into how the county handles conflicts of interest. An outside law firm will review policies on hiring and training and evaluate employees who could profit from their positions or be influenced by outside interests. This move follows the recent removal of Preschool for All Director Leslie Barnes after her child care center was the focus of a state audit.
Starting September 2nd, the city is extending pay-to-park hours in and around downtown Portland until 10 o'clock at night. Areas impacted by the extended hours include Old Town and the Pearl District. Late night parking hours were already extended in the Central East Side earlier this month, and it's also happening in Northwest Portland starting October 1st.
Rob, we could talk about paying more to park in Portland, but I think we should talk about the rain that's falling around the area this morning.
Yes, yes. It's August. This is our second day of the month with some rain, which is kind of typical that you would only have maybe no days or a day or 2 or 3 at most. Here's a look at what we have. We've got more showers. I mean, if you just stare at this, obviously more showers up in Washington, less in Oregon. That will probably be the ongoing trend. We do have showers that have reached all the way out over the Cascades toward the Dalles. So we're looking at that. We've got some light rain shower activity scattered between Salem and Canby. Been a wet morning up at Timberline. That's really wet. Here's downtown Portland with cloudy skies. It's just been, most of us, traceable to barely measurable light showers passing so far. We're at 66 degrees. As you look at the clouds from the Salem Tasting Room in Sherwood, this is the day where the clouds will be solid. So a gray Friday, just passing light rain showers this morning and this afternoon at times. So as long as you have a light rain jacket with you, really not a bad day to be out and about. Obviously, if you're doing some work where you cannot have any rain, today's not the day to get that done. 62 in Forest Grove, 63 up in Battleground, Westland, 64 in our capital city, also at 64. Good morning to you down there in Marion County. Here's Futurecast, 8 o'clock this morning. Shows some showers. I want to point out, if you're going to be at the coast this afternoon, the rain picks up, and then from that point, it's a steady rain afternoon and evening pretty much at the beaches. This is around 5 o'clock this afternoon, and that is when we think somewhere 5 o'clock getting into the evening that the rain gradually picks up, and then we get that steady push of rain overnight tonight, and then it's out of here for a mainly dry weekend. How about that? Today, sunshine out across eastern areas of our state, mid-80s, 85 in John Day, dry in central Oregon, but the clouds and the rain chances we detailed here on the west side. Portland 73. I've got a raindrop Saturday. I can't tell you there's not going to be a spotty shower, but overall tomorrow becomes partly sunny and dry. And sunny overall is dry too, partly cloudy and 78. So a little gray, a little wet out there today, a lot wet tonight, and then a nice weekend. Back to you.